Last year, I mounted this yellow box to the fence post thinking it would make an excellent swarm trap. I was right, and a swarm moved in, and I never pulled the swarm out. This swarm survived the winter, and now it has so much weight to it that the hive is actually pulling the fence post out of the ground and tipping it over. So today, I'm getting into this hive, and I have to pull it out frame by frame from the deep box so that I can get the weight off this fence post before it brings my entire fence down with it. I thought that the easiest part of this process would be removing the top box, but I was wrong. This top box is actually packed full of honey. Frame by frame, every single frame is full of honey, and it is hard to get off of here at this height, and it's heavy as heck. Lucky for me, these bees are reasonably calm, and I was not expecting that. I figured that these bees would be really pissy. As you can see, they're not. They're flying around, but they are not pissy with me. So now, for the bottom box, I do have to pull it out frame by frame because the entire box is screwed onto the fence post from the inside. So I'm going to give it a little bit of smoke here, and I'm going to get at it and start pulling this apart frame by frame, piece by piece. As I go, I've got to do what I always do, and I have to find the queen. It's just something that I like to do. I feel some sort of gratification from it, and I always have to try to find my queen.
Check it. Check it. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out.
And here we go, the queen is on this frame. I'd hop down and give you a closer look, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep going with this because rain's moving in and I want to get her done.
Check it out.
There are 3 frames left in this box, and all 3 frames are actually full deep frames that are capped over beautifully with honey. So I'm going to leave those in there, and I will actually harvest that later on. Right now, I'm going to drive up to my area that I plan on putting this hive out at my second bee yard, up away from the house. Before I start putting this hive back together, I'm going to take that deep box and I need to scrape the bottom of those frames. The box that I had mounted up on the post was a homemade one that's a little bit deeper than it should be, so the bees have drawn out a lot of extra comb on the bottom of these frames that just won't work for a regular hive box. So I'm going to scrape off all this extra comb here. A little bit of smoke gets the bees off of it, and as soon as I'm done with this, I can start putting this hive back together and fill in the boxes with 3 extra frames that I have, since I left 3 frames of honey in the original box. I always keep the extra comb that I peel off of any hive or any baseboard because I throw that in my swarm traps, and it helps to have that fresh comb in a swarm trap for extra lure. I've got my deep box in place on the bottom board. I'm putting the shallow that is full of honey on top. I'm not harvesting that honey today. I'll let all those bees get acclimated to their new home. And then as you can see, there are a ton of bees on this outer cover. and I'm not knocking them off. I'm just going to turn it sideways on top here and let them work their way down to their queen. And this is the actual lid I want to put on, but I'm going to give them some time to work their way into that hive.